Yep, want to introduce yourself?
Yeah. How's it going? Random internet people. My name is Darth. I really like music. Hence why it's my channel's name. I decided to get together with my fellow schizo Nora here because I think we have a lot in common. As far as our favorite like shows and stuff we watched when we were growing up goes, and he's kind of just a unique guy to talk to. So.
I'll take the unique part of the compliment.
Uh,
Well, yeah,
but yeah, yeah,
I literally agreed to it because he asked me to nicely.
yeah, because Nora's pretty funny, and he has some pretty based takes, but he's also he's kind of schizo like I am, so it should make for some good convos.
Well, I try to get some max as much as possible.
Indeed.
So let's see. Yeah, so we were trying to narrow down what exactly we wanted to talk about because I didn't want to deal with whatever kind of fiasco as last time I did it. We'll try an IRL friend of mine wanted to try to do something together. I have no idea what became of that project, and he was supposed to do all the work because I told him I did not have time,
Yeah.
and so he agreed to do the editing. So I have no. He never got back to me on what happened,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
he agreed.
Many such
Yeah.
cases.
So yeah, we wanted to pick something that we actually both had familiarity with. So we're going to be talking about the different adaptations of Batman and Spider-Man, and seeing the differences between them.
Yeah. What do we want to start with? Do we want to go Spider-Man or Batman?
I think Spider-Man portrayals are personally more controversial to
Okay.
the general public and generally more polarizing. So I think it's better to start
Yeah.
with Batman, since I feel like most people agree that the Batman adaptations have been handled relatively good. The
Yeah,
different
for the most
interpretations,
part.
yeah. I haven't
Yeah.
seen people
Yeah.
be like hashtag not my Batman. Only
Yeah.
really once. Twice. I've seen that a bit later on, but
Okay.
not early on.
Yeah, people can get pretty opinionated about Batman. Like me, like how I really don't like Christian Bale's Batman past Batman Begins.
Okay. So for me, I've actually never really liked Kristen Bale's portrayal. I
Oh,
don't like
thank you.
that
I'm not
deep.
the
I
only
don't
one.
like that deep voice he puts on. It sounds too. I'm laughing too much.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb. Like,
Yeah.
okay, so Batman Begins, honestly, I think it's pretty good because he doesn't really do a crazy deep voice or anything. It's just that when it comes to The Dark Knight, he for some reason went like full ham on going like this scary like I don't know voice, but it's
He
not
took the "I am
scary.
vengeance" part a little too literally.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
But
so rough.
so, have you seen the original Adam West? Not as far as I'm going back. I'm not going back to the 40s because I don't think either of us have seen that one.
Oh no,
Yeah,
no.
yeah,
Yeah, I watched the Batman movie a long time ago,
yeah.
and I watched that show a lot too.
I haven't seen the show in years, but I did watch them, and I haven't seen the movie. I've seen the show. I've seen the movie more recently than the show, but even the movie I
Okay.
have not seen recently. But
Yeah,
I really do
it's probably
enjoy.
been like it's been like 10 years for me, but yeah, it's great. Honestly, I
Like I
know a
like the
lot of
camp.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
a
it's
lot
just
of
fun.
modern people, a lot of modern audiences are just like, oh, it's so lame. They turned Batman into like this super goofy dude, and it's like, yeah, that was kind of the point of the show. It was
Well,
supposed to be goofy
yeah, it was
because it was
inherently.
more like Silver Age comics Batman. Because if you go read through all that stuff, thanks to like the Comics Code Authority, they couldn't really do any like dark subject matter. So they just made everything kind of zany and wacky, and you actually got some really cool villains out of that,
Oh
and
yeah.
some really dumb ones too.
Well, cause like I do miss the fact that we don't get good horror comics anymore. After the Golden Age was over, we kind of lost the House of Mysteries and House of Horrors. So they didn't take a back seat for a
Yeah,
long time.
yeah,
And then they slowly came back when they died again.
yeah.
Um,
I will, dude. I'm telling you, like 80s and 90s Vertigo comics were just like are like very instrumental to like my tastes, and I obviously, since I'm just a young little baby, I'm only 20 and get to experience all that stuff like when it was happening. So it's just like going back and reading like comic scans of Swamp Thing and old school like Constantine stuff. Like man, it was sick.
Well, Sandman was my
horse,
pick of poison when I was a teen.
Oh yeah, Sandman's great. Let's never talk about the Netflix show.
I did not watch it. Actually, have you seen the 24-Hour Diner short film on YouTube?
No.
They did a short film. It was live action, but then they even had an animated segment where Dream was going to the diner.
Okay, all right. You're gonna have to send me this. I'm gonna have to watch this.
Yeah, I saw when it came out. It's been a long time, but they did it. It was for a fan film. It was pretty good.
Yeah, those fan films can be pretty interesting.
Yeah, I'll send it to you when I remember. Yeah, so
yeah, for sure.
What did you think of the Michael Keaton run from Batman and Batman Returns?
Oh, he was a fun he was a fun Batman, but I mean, you know, as far as being actual Batman, I don't know. He feels a little too goofy at times, and then a little too gleeful about just, you know, strapping a bomb to somebody and then watching them explode.
that's a burden for you. No, so
yeah.
That's the weird thing. So I saw the first movie years ago, and I saw Returns last year for the first time. For some reason, me and my sister just never got around to watching Return until last year.
Dude, I love that better than the '89 one.
Yeah, no, and we're watching like this is way better because he's a lot more. Michael Keaton's a lot more serious in the first one. At least when he's Bruce. Because I always remember the scene where I think it was Vicky Vale he's sleeping with, and as he wakes up and he sees him exercising, like he's Patrick Bateman.
Yeah.
But no, Batman Returns is way better.
Foreshadowing. Yeah.
But then
that movie was great.
Yeah. I have actually never seen Batman Forever all the way through.
That's okay. You know, as much as I love Val Kilmer, that, you know, it's just not a great movie.
What I've seen of him as Bruce, he works well.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
Now I have seen Batman and Robin with George Clooney.
Yeah, so have I. I regret seeing that movie.
That was
except for Arnie. Arnie was really good in that movie.
I think that movie is comically bad. I enjoy my watching of it. The most funniest thing is making Barbara Alfred's niece and implying that he knows her measurements.
Oh yeah. It's like, oh gosh,
and
why would you do this?
You can't forget the bat nipples.
Nope. Oh gosh, it's so bad. It's so bad. Make it stop. No. Okay. What's even worse is apparently at the end of the new Flash movie, supposedly George Clooney is Batman. Really? Holy cow! That's so stupid.
The universe has ended, so this is another joke. They're gonna reboot. Right. They're rebooting everything again.
Yeah, I don't. Who cares?
Oh, no, because so I was looking it up, and not to jump the gun, but Ben Affleck will appear again as Batman in the Aquaman movie.
The Aquaman movie? Well,
no
one's gonna watch that.
Their timeline there is no timeline. We can get to that later. As a palate cleanser, I'm kind of going down linear. I'm kind of trying to go down linearly, but I'm willing to diverse a bit. Batman the Animated Series, 1992. Obviously, Kevin Conroy is like the Batman, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's the greatest Batman ever.
Because he was in so many different things.
And yeah, it's like, it's the one I think everybody grew up on, who are like fans of Batman now, and who are like still fans of Batman. He is Batman because like you either watched Batman the Animated Series as a kid, or you watched Justice League as a kid, like the I guess the two series of cartoons, Justice League and Unlimited, or you played the Arkham games when you were like a teenager, and you're just like, holy cow, dude, this guy is like Batman.
Oh yeah, that's why he was in so many different movies. He's in a bunch of also the standalone films as well.
Oh yeah, because they're like, hey, is Kevin busy with anything? No, he just gets typecast as Batman. Oh, okay, yeah, cool. We'll hire him.
Well, that's why
Like,
to skip forward to
everything.
the future. That's why I was disappointed by the Killing Joke.
Oh yeah,
I was disappointed because one,
like
it was animated the same as all the other ones. Like, no, you're gonna pull out all the stops when you do a Killing Joke film. You spare no expense, in the words of Jurassic Park.
right.
And
Yeah,
I did not feel it with either Kevin Conroy or Mark Hamill. Neither of them were being pushed as far as they could be by the director.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, that whole movie, I just have memory hold and pretend it doesn't exist for very obvious reasons.
Oh, that part's hilarious. See, I'm a let the world burn kind of person, so certain things, that's why I was having fun watching My Adventures with Superman. Because at certain points, I'm like, yeah, let them cook. I want to see what these after they make. So watching both, the criticisms were valid, but watching people whine was hilarious.
It's just, oh gosh, it's so bad. It's so bad.
The entire Paris France subplot, I'm just like, you don't understand the point of the book. Like, they gave Barbara an entire arc without understanding the entire point of it was Commissioner Gordon's entire story. And yes, you can say like, oh, she was just like the woman in the refrigerator. I personally hate the term of that trope.
Oh, me too. It's stupid.
Especially because, like I said, like, let's look at it. Uncle Ben, like classic woman in the frizz. Uncle Ben, Krypton, the Waynes. That's classic women in frizz.
Right? It's like, oh no, but it's only a problem when 90s feminists read Green Lantern. You know, that's when it becomes a problem.
Well, so talking about Justice League, one of my favorite episodes is Double Date. I think that's a great episode, and that's written by Gail Simone, and she was the one who coined the term
really?
woman. Gail Simone.
Wait, hold on. So that was her?
She's a really good writer for episodes. She wrote whenever episode as well in the animated series, Unlimited.
What in the world is wrong with you?
She's a good television.
Why do you have a problem with a basic trope in story writing?
She's the one who coined the term on Twitter.
Oh my gosh, I hate that so much.
Anytime she loses, so she's a really good episode writer for TV. But when she writes a comic, she usually writes pretty boring. So anytime she's losing relevance, she has to complain about something on Twitter.
Yeah, that's fair. Any attention is good attention.
Oh yeah. But I know, I'm trying to think, but I know the entire point of, so for that kind of story, like Killing Joke, was, do you prefer the original coloring or the second coloring version of the Killing Joke?
I believe, well, to me, it doesn't make a difference. Because I'm completely colorblind, if you remember. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So any colors in movies...
Well, there's a difference in the shading, so you would notice the contrast difference.
Okay, yeah.
So there is still a difference in contrast for you, but I forgot. Oh yeah, that's the best part. Yeah, so I can't talk about color theory because I had an entire segment in my head just a second ago when I thought the comics, then I thought of color. And I was
just throw it out the window.
Well, I didn't plan on it. I didn't plan it. I just kind of came to my mind like, oh, let's talk about color theory. Because I don't have anybody else to talk about color theory with besides my sister. Because everybody else who cares about comics, I know, don't care about color theory. But yeah, no. For that story, it doesn't matter if Gordon had a wife or a son or Barbara. Joker would have sought any one of them. He would have sought his niece. He had a niece, or if he would have sought his Jewish rabbi. If Gordon
was just to make
Jewish.
Yeah, it was literally just to make Gordon hurt. Which, by the way, Batman the Animated Series had an episode where it was like a what if story of if Batgirl had died, and it was done so much better than that Killing Joke movie. Like, it's essentially the same kind of storyline, but just done a million times better.
What I love about that episode was they couldn't show her hitting the car. So they had to do it from the inside, which makes it far more worse. Could he get a POV from Gordon's perspective of his daughter hitting his car?
Yeah, it's like, oh my gosh, it's like, ooh.
So, what do you think of? So, back to the anime series, the Mask of the Phantasm movie or Sub-Zero. What movie do you like better?
You know, I'm gonna go recency bias on this one. I've seen Mask of the Phantasm more recently than I have the Sub-Zero movie, and this is because I got the entire Batman the Animated Series Blu-ray set.
Oh yeah, I got that
a few years ago. Yeah, dude, I love that thing. The problem was I believe Sub-Zero was like a digital only one from that.
Yeah, I had to get Sub-Zero separate.
Yeah. So I'm just like, well, I don't feel like typing this in right now, and then I just didn't do it. So,
and the code expired.
But Mask of the but Mask of the Phantasm I had already, so I just watched.
For me, it's nostalgia bias. I grew up watching the commercial for Sub-Zero on a different VHS.
Yeah.
And then I saw.
Dude, I remember that. That also has a link to me for Christmas because when I was at my one of my grandparents' house, on the TV they were playing it on one of the channels, and so I remember sitting down watching that, and I'm like, dude, this Mr. Freeze guy, he's got it rough.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I always saw the trailer for Sub-Zero as a kid, not knowing it was part of when I was a really little kid, not knowing it was part of the animated series. And then the first animated series episode I watched was the first episode about Mr. Freeze.
Oh, dude, that still is such a good episode. I mean, to be fair, at this point, I think everybody's talked about how good of an episode of TV that is. But like, man.
So you said you're 20?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're 4 years younger than me, so you might not. The website might have been down by the time you started using the internet. But back in the day, they had all the episodes of Batman the Animated Series on the WB website, and they just cycled through them. Yeah, they would just cycle through them weekly, and then every week you would get like 5 new episodes, and so it would be like, I think it was like 10 to 15 episodes, and then every week 5 episodes would go, 5 more episodes would be added, and then 5 episodes would stay. So
that is wild.
Yeah, it was the same thing. So KWB had that for the animated series, and for a bunch of shows. I used to watch the Jetsons. I used to be a big fan of the Jetsons as a kid, and would watch them all the time. Okay. And same thing with Disney Channel. Disney Channel would do the same thing. I used to be a big fan of Kim Possible.
Dude, okay, all right. I actually remember that because my oldest sister, huge fan of Kim Possible as well. And I remember us crowding around like the crappy old like monitor computer.
Yeah.
To like watch episodes of Kim Possible because that show was amazing.
Oh yeah, I rewatched the movie with my sister. What was it? The movie with the 3-part special, Just in Time. Me and my sister just got nostalgic. Yeah. Me and my sister just got nostalgic, so we just put it on TV as we were eating dinner. So then my other siblings just sat and watched it with us. Yeah, we were like, this is so 2000s.
Oh,
it was fun. It was fun watching it again.
Yeah, it's crazy. So about the whole thing with the internet, I don't think I actually like actively used the internet until I was like probably 11, and that's because we lived out in we used to live in a trailer too. We used to live in a double wide like out in the country.
Oh, yeah.
And so we just had like the tiny little computer. And that was about it. But yeah, and then I turned like, I think I turned like 10 or something, and the government felt really bad for me since I was legally blind, and they're like, we can't fix that, but we'll give you a free iPad.
Yeah, that's nice. The government did something right for once.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh, thank you. That was like $600 of our tax money giving a child an iPad, which is the worst thing you can do, by the way.
Oh yeah, no, you're an iPad baby.
I guess technically, but at the same time, I got it pretty late, so I basically lived I mean, my whole town was pretty similar to that. We didn't really get like crazy technology like that until around that age. So I grew up essentially in a time without smartphones.
Oh yeah.
And then everybody got stuff at the same time, and so I just it just completely changed everything.
So for me,
And then I moved to the city.
yeah. So my one of my relatives installed the old CRT at my old house. I would have been in like 3 or 4 when he installed it, and I started picking up on stuff that my mom didn't pick up on, because she's looking at, I have a vivid memory. She's looking at National Treasure, watching the trailer to see if she wants to take my oldest sister, see if her and my dad are going to take my oldest sister, and then she's watching the trailer, and then the screensaver pops on. My mom starts freaking out. I have no idea what's going on, so I just move the mouse. It's like, it's a screensaver. And she looks at me like, how do you know that? Like, I listened to Insert Relative when he set it up. He said there was a screensaver if you don't use the computer for too long.
That's funny.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
So the rule of the house was wait until you're 10 to use the internet and use the computer.
Okay.
So my older sister was already using the computer for school and stuff, and then my other sister started using it, and then one of my sisters, the one who hangs out with me in videos, was using the internet computer. I started learning it while she was learning from watching her, to the point where I was doing stuff on the computer while she was in the bathroom. So she would go off and go play it or do toys, and I'd be on her account playing. And my mom's like, you already know more practically than I do. You can get on the computer at 8. So I got my own account on when I was in 8. So I got on I got on at the perfect time, right when the internet was still the Wild West.
Oh yeah, you experienced the best and the worst of the internet.
Oh yeah, I've seen horrific things.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no.
I moved into the city, got like tech and stuff right around the time people were mail bombing each other, some of the execution videos.
Oh yeah.
See, and I just go from really small town life to seeing a cartel execution video, and I'm just life will never be the same. Everything has changed so fast.
I remember I saw my first decapitation. I'm like, less blood than I thought. Then I'm like, wait,
right?
That's my response to that. I'm like, oh, I've seen some pretty messed up stuff that my decapitation video does not faze me.
Yeah.
At that point, I'm like, I saw my first Muslim decapitation video. I'm like, oh, less blood. I'm like, oh wow,
that's pretty.
That says something about me when I.
Man, the internet's wild.
Oh yeah, but no, I didn't get a smartphone until I was into 2017. I was using a flip phone.
Okay. Let me think. When did I get my phone? That was actually probably around the same time for me. Getting a real phone.
Yeah, I would have been 18.
No.
Because me and my sister are practically twins. We're right on top of each other in age. So my folks are well, we get her a phone, we got to get him a phone, and that's expensive. So we shared a prepaid phone because we didn't go out that much. And when we did go out,
dude,
when we did go out, me and my sister would go out together to go do stuff. So rarely were we ever. So, and if one person was going out to a place and the other one wasn't, we would give them the phone.
Okay.
But then my dad got a super good deal, and so we got a phone.
You and your sister's relationship is pretty similar to me and mine. We hung out a lot as kids and basically did pretty much everything together. But now she's abandoned us for a family.
How much older is she than you?
Yeah. She's about 15 months apart, older.
Oh, wait, so she's slightly... Yeah. So, yeah, there's a slightly smaller gap than me and my sister. My sister's about 1.5 years.
Yeah,
so about
there you
months. Go. But no, we're glued to the hips. So we usually watch TV at night. But
after that wonderful tangent...
that's what things are meant... See, I like tangents. I find the best... I like...
Absolutely, they make any podcast better.
I was a 1950s woman. I like to gossip. And I like to learn... Well, I don't like to gossip. I like to learn things about people.
Oh, yeah.
So, as a kid...
It's always fascinating.
So, I was always my family was always the last one to leave church. So, I would just be in the corner listening to everybody's conversations.
Yeah, definitely the quiet kid in the corner vibe.
Well, I wasn't
For
the
sure.
quiet kid because I was chatting with my sister, but I was also paying
Oh.
attention to what everybody else was saying.
Okay, yeah,
So,
that's
or
fair.
but when I became a teen, I became the quiet kid. I became the school
Oh,
shooter
yeah.
type, or the boy in the Punisher shirt. One of the two.
Oh,
Pick your poison.
that's great.
So I'd just be on my DS.
How do I look, yellow man?
So I'd be on my DS or I'd be on my 3DS or my DS, whatever one I had at the time, or my PSP.
Yeah.
Just playing games. Because I got a
I love
PSP.
that.
I got a PSP for super cheap. I got it for like $60, used,
Hey.
and it fixed it and repaired it
sick.
myself. But yeah, no, I got it for super cheap, and then I would just be playing RPGs while listening to people talk about petty nonsense.
There you go. Yeah, I definitely try to tune as many people out as I can, but unfortunately, it just stays there, and you're like, oh, I really didn't want to overhear that conversation, but too bad.
I have trouble tuning people out because I can be listening to music, and I'll start tuning the music out instead.
See, I'm the exact opposite. I will tune everything out if I hear music.
But see, I like music, so I'll be laying on the sofa, and I'd be listening. Like I was listening to that heavy metal album, first one it was, and then I'm starting to drift off. I'm starting to get wrapped up in my own imagination, my own conversation, because I don't have a train of thought. I am a conductor at a blackout, trying to figure out where the trains are.
Yeah, there you go.
And I'm so wrapped up in my own train of thought, or lack thereof, that the music, it's not playing anymore. I don't hear it. I actively cannot hear the music. I'm so caught up in my own head.
Yeah. I'm literally the exact opposite. Like, if we're in a restaurant or something, I'm having a conversation with people, and then suddenly there's a song that comes on, and I'm like, what is that song? Oh, I know that song. Oh, I know that artist. Oh, yeah, I know who played guitar for that. Oh, yeah, I know, like, if it's Hotel California, which is one that comes on, I'm like, oh, yeah, the guitar used on that solo was a jazz master, and I know for a fact that the neck was sold to the lead guitar player and singer of Bush.
So you're the person that people throw drinks at the party.
Yeah. Yes, I am the worst. I'm like the stereotypical like music nerd who people want to give the guitar at the party because they're like, oh yeah, I know this guy plays guitar, and then I play a song none of them know because I don't like normie songs, and then everybody's like, oh,
if you were cool,
hey Chris, play Wonderwall.
If you were cool, you'd be playing Scott Pilgrim ruined a whole generation of women.
Right, and that one's pretty easy. Sorry, yeah, I just don't like Negative XP anymore. You know, he went punk TM, and I just can't do it anymore.
I haven't heard any of his newer stuff, but I still will always, when I ever get around to editing it, this will take forever. But we actually recorded all the Ruby episodes.
Really?
The entire series.
Okay.
Me and my sister have recorded swapping through the entire series. And how much of Ruby have you seen?
I've not seen anything.
Have you ever seen the dance segment of the characters just dancing?
No.
Well, all you need to know is that there's a party in season 3 and season 2, and all the characters are dancing. So right when the characters start dancing, I immediately start singing Scott Pilgrim ruined a whole generation of women, and my sister froze up her milk. She was drinking milk and she froze it up because she starts laughing.
That's so dumb. Batman. We were talking about Batman.
Okay, so for me, Sub-Zero, because I like Bruce. I like the movie because I like. I like stuff to do with organ. I'm weird. I like stuff to do with organ transplants. I think about skin grafts all the time. I literally think
fascinating.
I think about skin grafts and organ transplants, and half my writing is about that. And I like I like Barbara and Dick's relationship.
Me too. Now I will say, as a child, I'm like, Barbara and Dick, they're a really good couple. And then, I got into Teen Titans, and I'm like, how dare they ever put Barbara anywhere near my boy?
Well,
Starfire is his only love interest. What are you talking about?
I used to be very mixed. I'm like, I don't like Starfire, Robin being together, and then I started watching stuff like the DCEU has them together, and I'm like, they make a really good couple.
Yep.
Let's see. Now this is
Yeah,
why
they're cool.
Yeah.
They're cool. I like them because she's like this fish. She's like a fun fish out of water, and he's basically DC's Spider-Man. Like that's perfect. That's like perfect.
Well, but, that's why I like her in the animated the animated movie series, because they remember that she's the Cameranians are meant to be sexy, and they're the females are.
Yeah.
They don't fatify her like the Titans so, where they made her short and fat.
Right.
And it was like, why do you do this?
Yeah.
Like,
why do you hate me? They also made her black for some reason.
But see, having a black actress could have worked, because I've seen black cosplayers play as her.
Oh yeah.
And the orange makeup works really well.
Yeah.
As their natural skin tone works really good as a base for the orange skin color. So I've seen cosplayers who look dead on, but then they did her, and like they didn't try. They didn't give her makeup. They gave her weird hair.
They didn't try. That whole show is just a disaster. And it had so much potential. Well, the idea anyway.
Well, I never watched
from the first trailer, I'm like, oh gosh, that's going to be so bad. I watched like the first 3 episodes because I'm just like, we'll watch it. Why not? You know, it can't be that bad. It was that bad.
Have you seen Gotham Knights? Have you seen Gotham Knights?
How dare you mention a CW show? How dare you?
Wait,
how dare you?
Technically, I don't say Supernatural, but technically that was before they became the CW. Same thing with Smallville.
Oh, dude, don't. I could talk all day about Smallville, dude. I don't know how it happened, but as a child, we were at a Goodwill. Because a lot of what the business like my parents do and I kind of do now is like thrift store based. We found like 5 whole seasons of Smallville, like the box sets at Goodwill, and my parents vaguely remembered watching it, and they're like, huh, you know, I think the kids will like that. And so I watched Smallville.
It's weird you mentioned
lots
that.
of Smallville.
It's weird you mentioned that, because there's a thrift store, a chain of thrift stores where I live, and I got my oldest sister season of Smallville from that thrift store.
Okay, there you go.
I don't know why Smallville has all I don't know why the thrift stores own Smallville.
It's okay. It's like Smallville, and then you see like the OC box sets. The X-Files used to be a lot more common, but they have just vanished from most thrift stores now.
Yeah,
I think it's because a lot of people have kind of
them, but they have the like the big collector sets, which are more expensive.
Yeah. Okay, so actually another side tangent. We had been gifted a box set of like 5 or 6 seasons of the X-Files. And my dad was like, "Oh, dude, holy cow, we could sell these on eBay for a lot of money." And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, sure." But then I started watching it, and I got like hooked on it, and then we sold all of them. And I was on like the Dwayne Barry arc, I think that's his name, who like kidnaps Scully or whatever. And I was on the first part of that, and it ended on a cliffhanger for me, and I haven't picked up the series since.
It's okay. So I have not seen the series all the way through. I have seen a bunch of episodes throughout the series, and so it was for a while. It was all of my siblings watching the series together, and then it became me and my 2 sisters. Back then when we were watching it, Marisu does not like gore. She doesn't like gore or torture. So any of the episodes dealing with like the science experiments and all that kind of stuff, like the really plot focused episodes, would always turn her off, because they would usually deal with some kind of human experiments going on.
Right.
So we would kind of
Meanwhile, you're just over there just eating it up.
Oh, yeah. I love the episode. Okay, so look up the episode. You know how to torrent. You're a big boy now. Look up the episode Home. It's rated X. Back then, it was rated X because Okay, I remember reading about this one. Because, it's not that bad of an episode. It's just the subject matter is extremely dark. Like violence wise, it's not that violent. Like obviously, like Silence of the Lambs.
It's like
more
straight
violent.
up. Like, it when I saw the plot for it, I I remembered that there was like a Cormac McCarthy book that had kind of the same like structure in the background of it. Obviously, completely different time period.
Oh yeah.
But, like, yeah, I completely remembered that, and I'm just like, huh, this is weird. But
no,
you know, that was during. Yeah,
the episode's
that was
great.
during
You
like
can look it up.
weird ratings for like TV and stuff. Which,
Well,
you
there's
know,
only
Twin
one
Peaks is
episode
actually
rated
responsible for.
Well, Twin Peaks was meant to was it was a parody of late night soap operas. I've not finished Twin Peaks. I'm almost done with it. I'm right after the reveal. Like I'm gonna say it, right after her father was arrested and died in the prison.
Right.
In the jail cell. I have not finished it yet because my older sister bought the episodes on Amazon, and she only bought up to the end of the Laura Palmer arc because that's all she cared about.
Oh, that is evil. That is evil.
She was not that big of a fan of the really out there. My older sister was not the biggest fan of the really out there stuff.
Okay, listen. Sure, season 2 takes a massive nosedive in the middle of it.
That's because
but come on.
I think it's because of George. Wait, who's ever responsible for it? I think it might have been Dave Filoni. Wait. It was somebody who's now.
Filoni?
No. There's somebody who's now works in Marvel and Disney who was responsible for the dip in quality in Twin Peaks because he wanted David Lynch. He wanted David Lynch to do different things. He wanted David Lynch to reveal the killer sooner than David Lynch wanted to.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember who it was.
Was it Bob Iger?
I don't remember who it was. I remember. So I watched a YouTube channel called WD Parks.
Okay.
Or it's also known as That Park Place. That's the website they own, thatparkplace.com. And they go into this. I love amusement parks. I love research. I love researching them and how they're built. So I like videos talking about how the construction works and how they're laid out and like people like the flow of customers and traffic and stuff. I really find all that stuff fascinating. I like researching about it, and so that channel is really fun because it goes into depth about that kind of stuff. And in one episode, in one of the videos they released, they mentioned Twin Peaks and how somebody I forget who it was, but somebody connected to Disney currently was responsible for the Rust plot of season 2.
Yeah, sounds about right.
So when I saw that,
but you should go and still continue to watch it because there's still some good stuff in there.
No, I want to. You just don't know how slow I am at watching things. I am the kind of person who's like, I want to be able to sit down and be able to watch something in complete peace. If I'm watching by myself, I want to be able to just get into the zone. I want to be able to submerge myself into it. So trying to find that time to be able to fully submerge. Like, I was able to watch Citizen Kane all in one go once by myself. No one else was in the home. Everyone else was gone.
I'm so sorry.
And I was like sitting down and watching. Was like, man, I love this film.
It's definitely a good film, but I don't know if I like it.
Oh no, there's some films I agree are extremely well made. 2001: A Space Odyssey is extremely well made. I find it trite.
Oh yeah, it's dreadful.
But no, I adore Citizen Kane. I got my mom to sit down and watch it because she's never seen it. My dad hated the ending.
Oh, that's
because I remember. Really? Yeah, because he's like a sled, and all it was a sled, and because he saw it years ago by himself. And then I got my mom to watch it, and she's like, "Oh my goodness, it was a sled!" Like she was like, she's like, "Oh my goodness." Because it's a big deal. Because it's like, all he wanted to do was, the only in his death, all he can remember the only happy moment in his life was his childhood. And it was like this big thing for her. It's like, oh my goodness. And because she's trying to figure out what it meant throughout the entire movie.
And Dad's like, this is stupid. This was stupid when I watched it before. This is stupid when I watched it now.
He didn't watch it the second time. Now, to be fair, my dad's part of the medical field. And to him, when he thinks of Rosebud, he thinks of a prolapsed anus.
Oh, gosh.
Because that's
horrible.
That's a slang term for a prolapsed anus.
Oh, that's awful. Why would you tell me this, Nora?
I learned about this as a child. I've known that Rosebud is slang term for a prolapsed anus since I was a kid. I used to look through his medical books. He had several medical books around the house. I would read through them. Well, I wasn't reading. I was just looking at the pictures.
This is horrible.
I'm glad I could ruin another person's day.
Thank you.
This is what I live for.
I will inform my family not to watch this.
I think I watched this. What's wrong? I used medical terms. I wasn't swearing.
Listen.
I got done watching an entire video talking about the queerness of the Islamic religion and how gay it is. Like, legit gay. And they were talking about...
You're not wrong.
But no, she dived into... So, I like to research Marxist theory and queer theory and all the kind of stuff that kind of... The stuff that's, all that Gnostic stuff that's the Gnostic kind of beliefs.
All that commie garbly goop.
Yeah, so yeah, it's all Gnostic. Yeah. It's all like post-Gnostic work. Like, it's nothing new under the sun. But this woman, she was going through... She never once compared it to the Bible or never once criticized Islam. She's just saying, hey, here's what Islam believes. Here's queer theology. Look how they've masked up completely. So it was a lot of. So I listened to 8 hours on double speed today, and so there was a lot of pedophilia mentioned. So I'm like, oh gosh. Yeah. So I'm just like, oh god, I'm hearing this, and I was like, the images that come to your mind of thinking about the. It's just like, dear Lord.
Okay, to be fair, when I worked my warehouse job, I binged like 100 of Dead Bugs videos. I don't know if you've watched him at all.
What does he do?
Oh, dude. So he does, like, true crime stuff, but he does it in, like, with a grindhouse aesthetic, and it is just... Oh, there is something else about it.
Oh, yeah.
Like when you... Yeah. The thing is he is always respectful of the victims and stuff, but, like, he definitely does not spare details.
Oh, no, I agree. Yeah, that's the thing that's what I liked about that video. It's like, they were kind of like... You're talking about Islamic sex practices. Like, that's not skirt around the terms. So it's like, she was willing to go full on, and like, I've seen some people to kind of skirt around the like terms when it comes to kind of things, and I'm like, well, yeah, like, did never raise and all this stuff, and she's just like going for like, yes, vaginal tearing. And I'm like, this is why, I'm like, thank you. Someone actually said it. Like, you don't need to pussyfoot around these medical terms. Like, you're not using the quote unquote vulgar terms, you're using the actual medical terms.
Right, yeah.
But no, speaking of grindhouse, there was this one video I saw years ago, and I'm on the hunt for it, and I cannot find it. The guy did this, so this guy did a video, I really liked the video. And then, I forget what the video was about, though. I completely forget the topic of the video. I just remember I liked it. But I remember he did a different video that was just him reading a Bible verse while showing footage of a slaughterhouse. Like, this footage of a slaughterhouse, and while reading a Bible verse, I'm like, this is a weird video. But that video stuck in my head.
It's a weird video.
The video stuck in my head. I'm like, so I need to. What am I going to type in, like, Bible verse slaughterhouse? Because I remember the other video was really good, but I can't remember what it was about. So I was like, I don't know. It's ethereal. Tears in the rain. Now, what were we talking about, Batman? So, back to Batman. Under that long tangent.
Anyway, Batman.
Return to the Joker.
About Batman.
Return to the Joker. Have you seen that one?
Oh yeah. It's good until they reveal who the Joker actually is.
So I'm 50-50 on that twist. It's kind of weird. So my biggest thing is, who is the one who put the chip onto Tim? Because and that chip was embedded inside. That chip was on him the entire. Unless it's implying that the chip was on him, I think that's in the movie implied. The movie does imply that the chip was on him since the incident when he shot him. The thing is that because the problem is, I watched this YouTube channel called the Watchtower Database, and they added all the dates up. Tim is like 18 in that movie. If you have to take all the dates in the series seriously,
right?
So he's like 18 now. Even though clearly the creators intended him to be a child. Is it the fact that they accidentally gave too many dates and too many time jumps? But no, the reason why I brought up the movie up was specifically because of Terry McGinnis.
Okay.
And the reason why I brought this up is because I wanted to talk about Miles Morales later. So, I think Terry is a very interesting character because he is so isolated from everything else. They constantly try to bring him into mainline continuity, but I don't think he ever sticks as much as they want him to.
No, he doesn't really work with other properties in DC. He works best as himself. And you know what? I will say I loved Batman Beyond Season 1, but everything after that was just not good at all, except the movie.
It was just, I remember we binge watched, me and my sister binge watched them all together, so they kind of blended in my head. There were some good episodes. It was very standard. Nothing screamed to me like this is really good. Like the show was rushed. They had to quickly brainstorm a bunch of villains because they needed a show.
I mean, the Royal Flush Gang in that show was sick, though. I really liked literally all the episodes with them.
Well, that's what I love about
Ace.
That's what I love about the big universe they built, because of the fact that I like seeing the creation of the Royal Flush Gang in the episode Wild Card of Justice League.
Yeah, it's cool.
And having Joker build them, that's just really fun.
Yeah,
and like
it's awesome.
Like, speaking of Batman, do you remember the episode of Epilogue from
Dude, tears to my eyes.
The problem was Epilogue, but the fact that it was extremely hard for me and my sister to find. We found the entire series on YouTube. That's how we watched all of Justice League Unlimited.
Except
but Epilogue was not on there. It was only the clip of Ace's death. So it's just a scene where Amanda Waller is describing her death, talking about her death, and we were like, "This is really cool." We went through the part of the full episode. Then we watched Epilogue, and we were kind of disappointed that it was only just a small segment of Epilogue. So because of the way we were introduced to Epilogue, we were left slightly disappointed. But no,
I mean, like, the rest of the episode's pretty good.
See, if you're watching the episode normally, and then you get the Ace segment, you're like, "Wow, cool! This is a really fun segment, and really well done." But when you see the Ace segment first, you're like, "Oh wow, I want more of this."
Drags the rest of the episode kind of down, just because like you can't go anywhere further from that. That's honestly probably one of my favorite moments in the DC in that like animated universe of DC stuff. That, and then when Lex Luthor becomes basically a god.
Oh yeah, the Wally moment.
Series. It's so cool!
Oh yeah, I remember that was awesome. The never scene we saw out of context was Barry disappearing, and him coming back with like the sickest thing as a kid, like them pulling him out of the Speed Force.
Dude, yeah.
That was a great series. But yeah, did you watch the Batman 2004 series?
Dude, I loved the Batman.
Yeah,
that was one.
We grew up watching.
That was one that I watched when they did reruns on Disney XD.
What, that?
When they had a weird licensing agreement with WB.
That's a weird thing that they had, because I watched it growing up. So, Channel 11. So, as a kid, Channel 30 was Disney Channel on Saturdays. On Saturday morning, they would air Disney Channel shows. So, That's So Raven, Slue, Zack and Cody, Hannah Montana, Kim Possible.
Oh yeah. All the throwbacks.
Channel 11 was Warner Brothers. And during the weekends, they would play anime and different cartoons. But on the weekdays, they would constantly play the Batman at 4:30 every day. And then
weird.
new episodes would air new episodes would air Saturday mornings when they had new episodes. So they play reruns on 4 in the afternoon. It was either 4 or 4:30 in the afternoon. They would play reruns on Channel 11, and then on Saturday mornings, if they had a new season out, they would play new episodes on Saturday mornings.
Yeah,
I remember seeing. So this is a very vivid memory for me. Seeing the coming up next, and it was the episode with Green Lantern in it, and it advertised the episode of Batman getting the Green Lantern ring, and me and my sister were so excited. And we watched the episode of this Penguin. Penguin gets the ring for the entire episode, and like 1 minute at the end, Bruce uses it. And I'm like, what?
Yep.
We were lied to. I was like that clip of JonTron. The saying one.
Yeah. Dude. Okay, that show was good.
Oh yeah, I like their version. I really like their version of Barbara.
That was the thing that I actually did not like about the show.
I like that she was done first. I thought it was interesting because it was more of a different situation dynamic. Also, that was the first Batman series I grew up watching. That's the first one I was exposed to before the animated one. It was because of the Batman that I started watching the animated one, because, again, on KidsWB.com, they had the Batman on there, and then I was like, oh, what's this series? And I clicked on the other series that was right next to it, and that's how I learned about the animated series. But no, I did like
oh, there you go.
But no, I really liked her version of Poison Ivy. I like all the plant stuff she did. Can I follow?
Oh yeah,
I love
yeah.
the weird
Dude, all the villains were so creative. Like their designs and how they worked. It was super like anime kind of, at least in the beginning.
Well, Bruce looks like Jackie Chan.
Oh yeah, and I'm like, I don't know if I've ever seen an Asian man quite built like Bruce is, but you know what? We'll go with it.
Since you've seen the series, and have you seen JoJo?
Yeah.
Have you seen JoJo's Bizarre Adventure?
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
I have a schizo theory.
So I've only watched like the first two. I've only watched like the first 2 seasons.
Yeah. So the guy who made it who worked on the Batman 2004 was I think part Japanese or a big fan of Japanese stuff. And have you seen the Clocking episode?
Yes. I really like that episode.
Yes. That's the first time that's one of the few times I think that's the first time Clocking had the ability to actually turn back time. In the series.
And it was cool. It was awesome.
Oh yeah. I don't think I have the picture. So the thing is, the reason why I bring that up was the fact that so he had the ability to turn back time. He kind of looks like Ringo Starr.
Yes.
Ringo Starr was the influence for Ringo Road Again from JoJo's Part 7, who had the ability to turn back time by 10 seconds.
Oh my gosh.
And they came out. Ringo Starr came out before that episode.
Hold on.
I
gotta pause real.
Yeah, I hear the dog in the background.
I gotta pause real quick. Stupid dogs. My sister has the tiniest little evil chihuahua in the world.
I hate those small dogs. They're the devil's playthings. I don't know what's wrong with them.
All right, I'll be right back. Oh, I have returned.
Oh yes. But no, like I said, I might be completely wrong. But the guy who made it was a weeb, and so like there could have been a chance that he knew about JoJo. Like this is a very big.
I mean,
the chance.
I don't see why not.
I don't.
It's pretty popular.
Yeah, because I looked it up. Well, that was back in the 2000s, though.
Well, you're right.
That's the biggest. That's the biggest hole in the thing. It's a complete schizo theory, and I highly unless I track down the guy who made that episode. I'm like, well, do you know what JoJo is? I'm not gonna get any answers.
Nope. You'll never get any answers ever. And that'll be a question you will take to God. And you know what?
By then, I won't care.
That's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Batman was great.
Do you like
also,
Joker's original design or redesign in the Batman?
Oh crap! I forgot what his redesign looks like. Hold on.
His redesign is a suit. His original design is a straight jacket.
Oh yeah. Well, I like both. I like both actually. I kind of like the straight jacket a lot. I feel like it works with the vibe of the series.
Yeah, I think the straight jacket was way better.
Yeah. Definitely fits the vibe of the series more, in my opinion. Did you know The Edge from U2 actually did the song for The Batman? At least the original, I think, 2 seasons.
Bono's U2?
Yeah.
Did not expect that.
Yeah, I didn't either. And then I was I was paying attention to the credits one day, and it was by The Edge or something like that. And I'm like, wait, hold on. Why have I heard that name before? And I'm just like, my dad used to watch that with me a lot. And he's like, oh, surely there's no way that can be talking about U2. And then he looks it up and he's like, oh, okay, I guess he did. But I guess one of the Aerosmith guys did the Spider-Man theme song for the '90s Spider-Man cartoon. So I guess it makes sense.
Well, yeah, it's always fascinating who does what.
Yeah.
It always baffles me. So, if you have your Discord open, I'm just sending you all the pics.
Yes. Yep. They're all connected. Everyone. It's all connected.
Because Ringo Road Again is directly connected to him. It was openly admitted that was influence, obviously. And of course it's a Rocky. Yeah. But yeah. Yep. Let's see, Batman properties. We already talked about.
Rocky has an immaculate taste in music.
Oh yeah, super great. I got introduced to several bands because of him. That
Yep.
and What's New Scooby Doo. I remember that really.
Oh, no.
What New Scooby Doo influenced my taste in music.
Are you a 90s ska kid?
Okay, so I'm not a 90s ska kid because I'm a 2000s kid, but I like ska music.
No.
I will sometimes play it while I'm editing. I'll just look up a ska playlist in the background.
Oh,
Playing Wally, he got me more into ska music than I thought I would.
Oh gosh.
Because he started talking about ska music during he was talking about ska music during the Tony Hawk stream, and I was like, ska music.
Yeah.
I vaguely remember that. I also remember Studio C, Sketch Comedy Club, YouTube channel, making fun of ska music. Where the joke was that the woman was insulting another woman by congratulating on her son starting a ska band in 2010. So I looked it up and I was like, I remember ska music. It's good.
Yeah.
I think you're not a fan.
No, absolutely not.
No.
Of course, I'm not a fan of 90s punk in general, and so then the ska and the ska punk it continues to fuel my hatred for all the 90s punk everything.
For me, when it comes to music as a kid, I was 100% an emos 2000s kid. So Evanescence, Linkin Park, Breaking Benjamin.
No.
I would listen to Evanescence all the time.
You can't do this to me.
I would listen to Evanescence all the time. Linkin Park.
Listen.
I have a ritual. Every year when I shovel the driveway, I am listening to Linkin Park. And I have not broken that shirt set.
Actually, so earlier this year, I went to my first actual concert.
Oh, who did you see?
At it was okay. So I like Muse. They're not my favorite band in the world, but I really like them.
Yeah, you good stuff.
And I heard their live shows are great. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'll book their next live show. It's fine. We can get we can get a discount on it. Well, one of their opening acts was Evanescence, and it was like 10 songs. Yes, dude, yes. That was actually hype though. That was
the
sick.
AMV. Do you remember the AMVs?
Yes, I remember the AMV.
Look up Mark After Dark, Bring Me Back to Life. He had the supercut of him looking up just a bunch of random shows and then typing in Bring Me to Life at the end of it. And just going through a bunch of different... There was a Pearl Harbor Bring Me Back to Life AMV. Michael Pay, Pearl Harbor. So we're gonna Bring Me Back, it's just blowing up. I think it was Arizona.
That's so fitting. That is so fitting because the band who opened before Evanescence was One OK Rock, a Japanese rock band.
That's great.
Dude, actually, I kid you not, One OK Rock, I think, honestly, had a better act than both Evanescence and Muse, and they only played 8 songs.
Oh wow! See, I want to go to a concert. There's nothing around. It can't be too far. Right now, my job situation is just I'm the one person. I'm the manager of a sub department right now.
Oh god.
I kind of fell upwards into that position. So I work in both. I manage the sub department and work in the main department of that section.
Fun.
So yeah, it's a section, and I work in the sub department. I run the sub department, and then I work in the main department. Because I'm the only one who works in the sub department and knows how to run it. Because the woman who worked, I asked my manager, she got transferred.
Oh gosh!
So I've been running it since middle of since May of this. No, it was March. It's been March of this year. So I have very little time. So, I can't just go to the Mecca. I assume most. So I live in Missouri. So I think most concerts happen in cities. So I can't just drive to a city and spend the night over there because one, that's just a lot of money.
Yeah.
And then two, I'm I don't want to use all my vacation days. I'd rather cast my vacation days. I'd rather cast my vacation days and get it done. I've never done. Because I got that's how I got my Walter. Is I cast my vacation my entire vacation for a year.
Oh wow.
And then I got it for significantly less than what Walters go for because the guy who sold it to me, the guy who's selling it to me, another guy who worked there walked up, saw the price. Saw the receipt and we're selling them for that cheap.
Wait, didn't you post this on Discord?
I was a lot of crap on Discord, so yeah, probably.
Dude, I swear, I was molding. I was molding.
You like the Walter?
Listen.
You like the Walter PPS?
I do.
It's a great gun.
It's pretty cool.
I'm probably gonna go to the firing range on Friday because I'm off that day for once.
Oh, sick.
But no, I adore it. I love using it. I haven't used it. I only use it twice. But it's a great gun.
But yeah.
Do you have any? You live in Texas. I assume you have something.
Okay. Me personally, I don't own a ton.
I only own one, so.
Just because they're more expensive.
Well, yeah, that's why I only own one.
I mean, I say that, and then I own like $7,000 or $8,000 worth of guitar equipment.
But so, like, I assume that's your pass then.
Let's not focus on that. Yeah, guitar's like my pretty
well,
much.
Design
like,
if I pass then. Cut the Christian.
Oh gosh, no, please, not the dimensional merge, Nora.
Oh no, how you see? He's back at home. He's back at the temple. The merge is coming for us all.
Oh,
We're not gonna survive.
I did.
We're all gonna die.
Oh
there's no hope. The world's going in a hell in a handbasket, and Christian's holding that basket.
Anyway, I own like a replica 1861 black powder revolver.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's like a Colt Navy. It's cool. You know, is it practical? No, but it's fun.
Oh yeah. So let's see. To those, I sent him a picture of my Walker. I sent him a picture of my Walker, and a picture of me giving him a middle finger. They had not loaded yet. Okay, so did you ever watch The Brave and the Bold?
Yes.
So,
okay.
This is why I like the Adam West stuff, because I like camp. I like Brave and the Bold.
Yeah, and the thing is like, it still was serious when it wanted to be. But it like had a good.
Do you remember the episode about Joe Chill?
Dude, that was such a great episode.
Yeah, that's a great episode.
Fantastic.
The stuff with Equinox. Equinox is just a cool villain. Like the entire stuff.
Dude, literally like one of my favorite villains just because of that show. He's so cool.
Yeah. I like the episodes of the Gentleman's Ghost had a cool design.
Dude, Gentleman Ghost was sick. Ooh, Detective Chimp was also really cool.
See, I like I was gonna say. Oh, the Question. I love the Question in both the animated. I love the Question in both Unlimited and Naso.
Yeah, he's the best.
I like him. I like my skits as detectives.
Yes, he's the greatest.
Like,
he's literally me, for real.
You wonder what drugs they're on, and you find out they're on no drugs, and then you get very scared.
Yes.
That's what makes them
he's
so
literally
good.
Me, Nora. He's literally me. Well, except he somehow landed Huntress.
My sister loved Huntress so much that she based the character off of her. I posted the character several times in the Discord.
Just excellent taste is all that means. I just don't know how the Question ends up with Huntress.
How did the ginger get the girl? That's the question. He lied. That's how he lied. He lied about his hair color.
Yep, that's how it is. That's how it is.
Soulless monster.
Yeah. He's man. It's not fair, Nora.
So, I've never actually seen I've never seen The Dark Knight Returns and The Dark Knight Rises. That's the one Kristen Bale movie I have not seen.
Okay, well, watch the first 12 minutes at least.
I've seen that. I've seen the airport.
Yeah, Bane posting.
Yeah. So the thing is, for me, I'm like, so the Wall Street gets attacked, and then immediately the Wayne assets go on sale. No one's gonna find this suspicious. Anybody? Helen Keller knows something's up.
Listen, it's fine. This was part of his master plan.
What?
He's crashing the stock market with no survivors.
Yeah, he's crashing the stock market. But if the stock market gets attacked, and then suddenly tomorrow, the stock market gets attacked by some random Musador wannabe. and then magically Elon Musk's stock goes up on sale, or Jeff Bezos, the government's gonna step in and be like, we know something fishy's going on.
I wonder what could have happened here.
Maybe two and two together.
Yeah. Honestly, literally, again, the opening scene of the movie is the best. Bane gets captured. Oh, but actually, it's his master plan. They hijack a plane with another plane. It doesn't make any sense, but they did it, and it's amazing. It's amazing.
As a fun fact, we cannot have the Mad Hatter in the Batman TV show because the Mad Hatter was supposed to be the third villain. That's why we didn't get Scarecrow either. It was not supposed to be Bane. It was supposed to be the Mad Hatter.
Mad Hatter.
I actually would have liked to see that.
I don't think Nolan could have done it. He's not cerebral enough for that.
So there was this really dumb law going around, like internal DC law, where you couldn't have characters. Yeah. So Batgirl was done first because they couldn't do Robin because Robin was on Teen Titans. That's also why the Batman could not do Scarecrow or the Mad Hatter because those two were already picked by Christopher Nolan as potential characters.
Dude,
the only one that were allowed to do was Joker.
Designs too. They would have had amazing designs too.
So it completely goes against the ideal Bane was in Mexican Luchador, but I think the best Bane design is the Batman with the black suit and the red skin.
Oh, dude, it's so cool.
Like it's the coolest thing ever, and it's like it's the only one that does that. Oh, and the Kabuki twins. That's how created the Kabuki twins.
Yep. That's that's all.
Kabuki don't got you hot and popper.
Listen.
Down bad for AIDS and fever.
All right, listen. We don't need to talk about it, okay? my childhood. No, you know what, Nora? Shut up.
What?
We're moving on.
I think Catwoman looks better in that series.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I like her goggles, and I like that hoodie thinks he has. Oh, Firefly! I like Firefly's design. He has cool design.
Dude, Firefly was just cool.
And then he becomes Inferno. Like he becomes a living lava. Like as a kid, that's do you remember? So I'm a very paranoid kind of person. I always have been, and even as a kid, it was way worse. So I didn't want his horror stuff because, like I said, I was very paranoid. But do you remember the episode Brave New World? Or no, whatever it's called, Strange New World. The one with the zombies.
Oh, yeah.
That episode was amazing. I love that episode so much.
Dude, that was sick. A plot Phineas and Ferb would shamelessly steal, like, 10 years later.
I think I stopped watching Phineas and Ferb at that time. I watched a fair amount of
They turned everybody into Doofenshmirtz. It was a whole thing.
I must have skipped it. Oh, I think, Night of the Doofenshmirtz was a TV special, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or it was advertised like one. So I watched a fair amount of Phineas and Ferb, but then eventually I stopped watching cartoons and only watched anime and Gordon Ramsay.
Anime and Gordon Ramsay.
Yes. For half my teen years, half my teen years was nothing but Gordon Ramsay and anime. With a few movies now and then. I have watched all of Kiss and Nightmares twice, at least twice.
Oh my god.
Plus Hotel Hell and a fair amount of Master Chef. And Hell's Kitchen.
I don't know what to say. That's
everybody gets thrown off by that. Anytime I bring it up, that anime and Gordon Ramsay was what I spent most of my teenage years watching. Like, yeah, I watched a lot of YouTube as well, like, don't get me wrong. My afternoons were Mirror's Edge and replaying Mirror's Edge episode levels and listening to, now as an adult, extremely cringy Proto-Manosphere stuff.
very cool. Very
Like,
base.
as a kid, I'm like, oh, this stuff is interesting. Like, let me do Doom Spiral on how bad the world is. Now as an adult, like, oh, this is like Manosphere stuff. Now, see,
let's go.
Do you know that meme of nihilism? What people think nihilism is versus what nihilism is? That was me as a teen and me as an adult. Nihilism versus nihilism, all caps, spinning disco ball in the background.
I love that. That's so funny, dude.
Let's see. So, have you seen Flashpoint Paradox? The good one. The good one. The anime one.
I really, really liked that movie.
Yeah, fun fact. The guy who plays Thomas Wayne, so the guy who plays, that's Kevin Conroy playing Batman.
Right.
The guy playing Thomas Wayne is also named Kevin.
What?
Kevin McKidd.
I'm telling you, man. It's like with the... Diana, shut up. Sorry. Little demon is talking.
She's mad because she knows how Wonder Woman was treated in that movie. One time, boom, she cuts Mira and then kills her when Mira gets mad about it. She cuts her so hard and then kills all. She cuts humanity afterwards. It's so good.
Wonder Woman is the worst.
Well, see, what that leads me to is, so, you know Flashpoint Paradox was this lead up to the DC animated universe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what do you think about Batman during that entire DC run?
He's fine.
Yeah, I think he is Batman TM. He is Batman. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
He is just Batman.
He's not special.
Yeah.
He's just
now,
Batman. There's nothing wrong with that.
And Damian, I would probably throw in a wood chipper.
Well, yeah, but
Especially
that's how I felt about him in the comics anyway.
I know. By the time, okay, so Justice League Dark Apocalypse, he's good. He's really good in that. And he's okay in the Titans films. Because in the Titans films, they call him out for being a punk.
Oh, well,
I would have liked it if, that's the problem. They make him, he's such a Gary Stu / Edgelord. Like, oh, I've been trained by the best. I've been genetically manipulated to be super good. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. But I still want Nightwing to kick your ass 10 nights a Sunday.
Yeah, his whole existence just is the worst thing ever. Like, you know, freaking Talia, Bill Cosby's Bruce, basically. And,
well, at least for Cosby, he gave the drugs to them consensually. Unlike Talia, who actually slipped it in his drinks. Because that's what's so funny with the Cosby trial. When you have to look at it, it's like, yeah, me and the girl took drugs together. Yeah, and I got translated to I drugged women.
No. Yep.
Cause I remember when he got free.
That makes Bill Cosby better than Talia al Ghul.
Cause I remember when he got free of charge, and people were like, "What? How do you get free of charge?" I'm like, "Well, if you actually serve what he confessed to doing drugs in the '80s, like everybody else was doing drugs in the '80s." Like, we all saw American Psycho. We all saw how everybody was doing quaalines and coke.
Yep, coke, man, is everywhere. Thank you, CIA. Anyway,
that was mainly crack.
It's both, dude.
It's both. I know, it's both. What I'm saying is they gave the coke to the rich elites, and they gave the dirty crack to the inner city youth. The stuff that
and
left
the white trash. And the white trash in the trailer parks, yeah. Yeah,
they weren't going to waste good cocaine that they got from the cartel on white trash and ghetto people.
Exactly. Why would you do that?
Like, you're going to get the crack rocks with the dirt in them. You don't care. You're high on crack cocaine. You don't care if it's dirty.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's see. Ben Affleck version. This is a very controversial pick.
He looks like Batman, and that's about it.
The problem is, I was talking to my sister. I cannot judge him because he's never given. He doesn't get a proper script. He's always given Zack Snyder's script. Even in I've seen a little bit of him in the Flats movie, and even in that movie, he's like written. He's just a mouthpiece for the director or the writer, where he's like, "Oh, if I really cared about fighting crime, I would donate money to like charities." Like people forgetting the fact that Bruce Wayne does more humanitarian aid than the entirety of the UN.
Yeah,
like he single-handedly does more good for the world than the UN. Well, the UN's
man, why can't people just let Bruce be a good dude? Like, that's what Batman the Animated Series got so well. Like, throughout the series, like, you see a lot of the villains who he helps rehabilitate. He'll, like, give them jobs and, like, victims' families. He'll take care of.
Do you remember the episode?
Starts orphanages.
Do you remember the animated series where he goes undercover to try to figure out where all the homeless men are going? and
Yeah,
he gets
Matches
abducted.
Malone.
No, it's the episode where he dyes his hair white. He goes undercover and gets kidnapped and starts working as a slave on a mining rig. Not a mining rig, a mining facility. Yeah, I love the end of the episode when he's hanging out with the guy who helped him throughout the episode, and he offers him a job at Wayne Industries.
Yep.
Like, that's what makes Bruce so good. Stuff like, so for me, slight tangent. Have you seen Kill Bill?
1 and 2. The first one. I've only seen the first one.
This isn't a spoiler. This is just a conversation. This is a conversation for the second film, but it's not a spoiler. There's one guy talking to the main, talking to the bride, and he's talking to her about superheroes. And I disagree with his take. His take is that Batman is Bruce Wayne, Spider-Man is Peter Parker, but Clark Kent is Superman, and that Clark Kent is the Mask. I fundamentally disagree with that take. Extremely. For me, Bruce Wayne has always been the Mask, and Batman is the true person.
Yep.
And that's what I like. See, I agree with that's my take on Batman. That's how I think a good Batman is written. But that doesn't mean that Bruce is a bad person or Bruce is non-existent. Bruce is still a person doing things. Just like how Spider-Man is a person doing things that are separate from Peter, and how Superman does things separate from Clark.
Yep.
See, because I'm very much like Clark is a small-town American boy. Like, he's not like I hate when people like bring up try to make his Kal-El as his like true person.
Like, no, he has more connection to humanity than all of the people living in the city around him. It's because he grew up with a family who actually loved and cared about him.
Well, that's like people who read the Superman Red Son comic seem to not like the movie. And the movie does have some problems. Like the movie treats the Soviet Union as a problem. It's like the movie's not going to get into how deadly communism is in general. So the movie giving us
because
the movie
can't do that in this modern age.
Oh yeah, so the movie only paints the Soviet Union as being bad. They don't really paint Mao Zedong's China as being bad, even though like I get it. And realistically, if Superman was in the Soviet Union, Mao Zedong wouldn't be able to expand as much.
Yeah,
being the fact that they literally have a Superman. But no, I like because that shows how different someone like Clark could be if he's in a completely different environment and raised on different principles. Yeah. He's raised on small-town American principles, so he becomes a good person.
He still believes in Santa Claus, for crying out loud.
Well, that's why I like when people... this will tell me if the movie's good. What he said. If he said truth, justice, in the American way, you know that the writer's doing something good. If he said truth, justice, and a better tomorrow, I'm throwing something at the writers. I'm getting my rotten... Yes. I have access to a lot of produce. I'm getting all the rotten tomatoes. I'm finding the directors.
Flog him! Flog him!
I don't need the flog. I'm just gonna throw tomatoes and maybe a cucumber and zucchinis. No. If I do that, I'll probably sell them other orifices. They are Hollywood people.
Yeah. I mean, holy cow, that just reminded me that J.K. Rowling knows about T.J. Kirk.
Oh, yeah, I remember. See, so I don't know. I don't know.
The eventual merge.
Know if I must have dreamed that. Because I swore she knew sooner than she did. Because when Lolly posted that in the Discord, I'm like, yeah, she knew for a while. And someone else said, like, she didn't. And I'm like, I swore she did. Am I getting glimpses of the
Mandela effect. You've drifted into another timeline.
No, I'm just really good at predicting the future. I've had dreams that come 100% true.
Yeah, me too. It's all about seeing patterns and connecting the dots.
Oh yeah, so
like the schizo conspiracy theorist.
We're stacking it up.
Exactly. Yeah.
Let's see our movies. So we're not talking about Suicide Squad or because Justice League because they're all done by the same person. Did you see the Lego Batman movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fun movie. I like that movie. I forgot
that one a lot.
I forgot that Job from Arrested Development plays him. Will Arnett.
Yeah, he's really.
Well, I love Arrested Development.
See, I never got into Arrested Development. I was a Parks and Rec kind of guy.
See, I never watched a Parks and Rec.
You know,
I was a Trial by Air fan. Trial and Air.
Really?
That's so that nobody remembers.
Yeah. Same creators of Parks and Rec, if I remember.
Oh, that's funny because I was like, this reminds me of Parks and Rec. I should watch Parks and Rec, but I never got around to doing it. I'm really slow at doing these kind of things.
Chris Pratt is hysterical in that show.
See, for some reason, I really did not like Chris Pratt when I was younger. I don't know why.
Really?
I didn't see him in anything. I just didn't like him, and then I started watching him and stuff. Like, yeah, he's pretty. I watched the movie and like, you know what? He's pretty good. I don't like Chris Pratt, but he's pretty good in this movie. And I started saying that for a lot of movies. I'm like, maybe I just don't like. Maybe it was me. Maybe I was the problem.
Maybe you were the problem, Nora.
I have no idea why I was so irrational.
What made you change your opinion is when you saw him disembowel a dude and hang his intestines on a post in the terminal list.
I don't know
That's what made you change your mind. What? It's really good, Nora.
There's a lot of stuff I have. So when I told my IRL friend, we hung out and got burgers, and I told him I never saw Gladiator until that month. He was like, "What?"
To be fair, I have missed out on so many different like R-rated movies just because we didn't really watch a lot of them in my house.
Same with me.
So
for family films,
I've kind of caught up on my own.
See, I have a great history of old films. I was rewatching All About Eve a few days ago. I was like, I'm waiting for my driver to update. The internet's really slow up here in my room. Kind of using a Wi-Fi extender. Because for some reason because the Wi-Fi router's on the complete opposite side of the house. And then
yep,
I've been there. I have All About Eve on my laptop. I'm watching it, and I'm like, man, this is a great film. What time is it? Oh, almost 2:00. I have to get up early for work. But no, there's a lot of. So I'm slowly going through a bunch of classic horror films with my oldest sister because she loves horror films. And so I recently saw Elm Street. That was pretty good. It was just okay.
See, I'm not a 80s slasher kind of guy. I'm a like crazy like psychological terror because I'm a Lovecraft stand.
Well, yeah.
I'll absolutely live and die on the pages of H.P. Lovecraft's funny history with other races, and how it inspired.
I researched more about Lovecraft himself than I actually have sat down and read all his works, because I find I find the man more interesting than the works almost. Because I mean,
he's pretty cool. But have you read In the Mouth of Madness?
I've read it so long ago.
Sorry. Mountains of Madness.
It's been so long ago.
In the Mouth of Madness is the John Carpenter film.
It's been so long. I need to reread it.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
My dream movie that I want to make is a sequel to that, and it is about the Nazis when they build their base in Antarctica. They discover the old ones, and so when the United States Army actually sent a group down there to clean up the base down there. This is all real, by the way. They were when they got back. They were all stuck in a debriefing room for 24 hours.
Yeah,
and man came out with a Medal of Honor and an oath to secrecy.
Give me a second. Admiral. Give me a second.
I don't remember his name. I first learned about it through the window. Yeah, the conspiracy theory iceberg.
I will periodically rewatch that iceberg while I work and listen to it. Because I watched stuff. I listen to things on double speed.
Yeah.
So I'll just put the playlist on in the background.
Yeah,
and just listen to it.
Yeah.
So I have listened to that conspiracy iceberg. I think a good 5 times now, at least 5 times. Because I was rewatching it as it was coming out. Because I remember watching it as it was coming out.
Oh, okay, yeah. But yeah, my dream movie is to make a sequel that is a sequel to the story that has Nazis and U.S. soldiers fighting each other while also fighting eldritch horrors.
That sounds like it would be fun.
It would be so fun.
The problem
would be like
the
Thing mixed with Stargate.
The problem with that is the fact that the amount of money that will require to make a movie like that, it's never going to get made.
Oh yeah, it'd be
because
stupid expensive.
Yeah, the amount of money, no one's going to actually produce it. And the only way to get enough money is to let a lot of Hollywood producers molest you.
Yeah. See, this is why I just need to schmooze up Guillermo del Toro, because he's been wanting to make a In the Mountains of Madness movie for a long time, and I'm like, hey, buddy, listen, I know you want to make the first one, but here's an idea. We make a sequel. We do this. It has real historical events. I know you like your cool SS imagery because you made Hellboy. We could make it work. It would be dope. It would be the coolest thing ever.
I have so many movies. Well, see, I grew up on psychological horror, like like Alfred Hitchcock and all that kind of stuff, like thrillers.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, I've always wanted to be a movie director as a kid, but then as an adult, as a teen, I was like, yeah, there's no way.
There's no way. Too expensive.
You have to sell your
Hollywood.
soul.
Yeah.
To get what you want, to get any good movie out nowadays. But like, no, I have written multiple scripts for different movies throughout the years.
There you go. Perfect. We just see, the thing is Hollywood's about to collapse, so it's going to be the age of indie films. So you just need to like shuffle them around in the indie community, and see who wants to pick up on them.
Oh yeah,
just gotta do it. Yeah,
it's all about knowing. Well, yeah, but the thing is like getting out there and doing something. Well,
I don't. Well,
but that's the thing.
That connection wouldn't work. Never mind.
My thing is, what I'm actually going to do is, it's not going to be like an analog horror thing where, like, oh, watch every episode, yada, 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 that kind of stuff.
Oh, no analog horror. Oh.
No one has time for that. No one cares about that. What I was going to do is just make, I had to plan, I was going to do maybe a video for Halloween if I have time. And it's going to be a short video. Because I have this entire, so see, for me, if I had, like, the series I would have big right now, because there's different series I in love with the idea of at every given time. And this one would have been called Deary. And it would have been about a monster that's, body of a human, head of a deer, that goes around to kill people with like a machete. Fun. So the first movie would be classic, trying to actually be scary, and would take a lot of cues from analog horror.
Of course.
Very akin to like what's it called? What was that movie that came out with the kids trapped inside the house?
Oh, Skinamarink?
Yeah, kind of like something like Skinamarink, but with more, but more action. Like more stuff going on. Not the kids trapped inside the house. You could just
make a movie like that, and it's like a deer, like a trail camera, and you see people on the trail, and then a deer.
Well, yeah, that could work. Yeah, but could I walk? I like to walk in the woods a lot, so I'm always thinking in my head, just like, what is a person with a deer head? Because that's
skinwalkers.
Animal heads.
They're going to get you.
Animal heads on humans always freak me out the most. It's the uncanny valley for me. That's my uncanny valley. Yeah. Is animal heads on humans. So the first one would be very psychological, very restrained. Second one, full out slasher film. Like I sent up to this with multiple deeries, more than one.
Of course.
So because you
gotta up the ante.
No. There's like 3 deeries. Way more gore, way more violence, less psychological. The third one would go back to psychological, but also be a comedy, where the deeries are now into politics and the media, and taking over. Like there'd be a deery running. There'd be like a parody of Oprah, but it's a deery running it.
That's so dumb. I love it.
Yeah, there's a deery. There's like a parody of a televangelist deery, and like the goal is the deeries are trying to take over the world by indoctrinating people. And the main character, it's because of the mix between They Live and there's a parody. So like the main character is like the one person who can see for their lies and trying to stop them, but everybody thinks he's a schizophrenic. Yeah, like I have plans. Like in the fourth one would be like all the deers are dead, but all the deers are dead, but then copycat deers are trying to pop up. So a new main character has to take them out one by one and like put the story to rest. So like each one would be like each one would be deconstructing the previous story. So like the first one, psychological, with very little violence. The second one had a bunch of violence. The third one completely like, you know what I mean? Like I want I want people who are a big fan of one movie to to hate the other movies almost.
Yeah, and everybody has their own favorite.
Yeah, because like
that they love.
And then there's that one person, that one real one who likes the entire series as a collection.
Yeah,
and understands like the entire the meta humor going on.
Right.
Because like the ideal of this like a televangelist or wearing like the typical getup with his deer hat, like doing some kind of like fake sermon that the building is on fire and everybody starts to burn alive without realizing it. It's just a strong image in my head, and I'm like, I want it to be the ending of the film.
and what would the song?
I'm thinking I was going through different songs in my head, and now that you asked me, my mind went blank.
Karma Police, the ending of that, where it's like you doing the
Let's see. For the third one, I probably did a lot of surf rock, like 60s surf guitar. Like
surf rock.
Heck, ended with the Munsters theme.
No. Even better, you end it with the Fall Out Boy song that is just the Munsters theme.
Oh yeah, Immoral? Not Immoral.
No. That's Tom's Diner. That one steals. No, it's the Uma Thurman one.
Oh yeah, it's called Uma Thurman. Yeah, because they couldn't get the Pulp Fix. They didn't want to use, the producer didn't want to use Pulp Fix to get a different person's sample Pulp Fix and just like a year before. So they had to stick with the Munsters.
That's why would you still call it Uma Thurman?
It's about the song is about Uma Thurman. It's like a send up to Uma Thurman because it's about a really the song is also so grandizating the main singer because the main singer is like, oh, you're so awesome, but I'm even better.
Yes, that's why I hate Fall Out Boy so much. Anyway,
okay, so I like Phoenix. There's some Fall Out Boy songs that are still good. Phoenix and Thanks for the Memories.
No, get out of here.
I have a very eclectic taste. The one genre I'm not the biggest fan of is hip hop.
Oh yeah, me either. I just don't like anything that doesn't have actual like melodies.
Well, I didn't like rap either, but I started listening to. I actually like Kanye West's music. I don't really like.
Hit or miss
I like some of his music, so I think he's a great mixer. He's really good at mixing.
He's an.
I
swear, if he just got into production for stuff, he would produce some of the greatest albums of all time.
So the entire I'm a Christian grift felt like in the wording I just used, I felt like a grift. But I like Follow Jesus album. I think it's really well mixed. I don't see it as, oh, look at this great Christian album. It's like, oh, this is a really well mixed album.
Yeah, it's just really well.
There's a few songs on there I'm like, okay, this is weird. Why are we talking about chicken on Sundays?
Listen, it's Chick-fil-A, dude.
I have only ever had Chick-fil-A once.
What?
I actually have a negative experience with Chick-fil-A because of my family.
Oh no.
My sisters were taking self-defense class, and every week they were getting Chick-fil-A when they came home. I was working every weekend. Uh-huh. So every weekend my family would get Chick-fil-A, and they never brought me any home. And then one day, I'm off that day, and my mom and my other sister and my dad are going out to get something, and they pick up Chick-fil-A, and they come home and like, yeah, we went to get Chick-fil-A. We didn't get you any because I know you don't like Chick-fil-A. And I'm like, I've only ever ate it once. He's like, oh yeah, that's right. You never was us when we go to stuff. You were never with us because you were always busy at work. She's like, well, sorry. And there's so much. The one Chick-fil-A near me has so much construction going on. I'm like, I am not dealing with this. I'm not driving 20 minutes through construction. Just to drive 20 minutes back, and my sandwich is going to be cold when I get home. When the construction is finally gone, it takes me less than 10 minutes to get home. I'll consider it.
We were talking about Batman, right?
Yes, apparently. So we're done with final Batman movie. Is the Robert Pattinson movie?
Okay. Controversial opinion. He is my favorite Batman that we've seen on the big screen.
I feel like that. Yeah. I would have to agree, actually.
Yeah,
I'm not emotionally attached to any of the other Batmans on the big screen.
Yeah, whereas Robert Pattinson feels like he could be literally me for real.
My sister did not like him. My sister thinks Mary Sue thought he was greasy looking. I'm like, that's the point.
Yeah, he hasn't figured out the balance between Batman and Bruce Wayne.
Well,
yet,
that's the thing. I'm saying once I finally told her that it was a different interpretation, and I'm like, it's a different interpretation. We've had a bunch of different interpretations. We'll judge this Batman for what it's doing. She's like, yeah, this Batman's a faggot. It
was the grease paint on the eyes, the eyeliner. Yeah.
The Catwoman is so thin. You could break her with a gentle breeze.
Yeah, she was okay.
I see when she's walking, and I'm like, is the actress gonna, can someone give her a sandwich? She looks like she's anorexic.
I worry about her safety.
But no, I did not think Batman and Nirvana would go so well together, but it did.
Oh my gosh, dude. When that started playing, I'm like, dude, this goes so hard.
Oh, and it ended. What is even happening? I was waiting to get to the Patterson movie just so I could talk about the ending. I was flabbergasted when they actually broke the dams and the city got flooded. I didn't think they were actually going to go there. I'm so used to
they're doing No Man's Land now.
Yeah, I'm so used to them just getting, oh, everything's solved, yada yada yada, barely
You're
anything
gonna
happens.
save the day. Yeah, okay, so
But
that's
that image
my
of him
biggest
saving the
criticism.
people from the water and the
with
music.
Yeah, that's my biggest criticism with the criticism of that movie. Everybody hates the ending for some reason,
think
and I'm
ending
like,
was great. I think the ending was.
yeah,
I remember.
it fits the movie perfectly.
I brought up the water scene because that image is in my head. But one, I like the scene when he electrocutes himself to cut the wire. To save the people.
And then
That's
after that, he immediately gets up, starts swimming, and then leads the crowd of people with the flare. And I'm just like, they actually showed a superhero being heroic. What?
And I like the highway chase with the penguin. That was fun.
Oh gosh, that was sick. I still think it would have been cooler if he would have just dragged him out of the car and we got to see that. And then he yelled at him for killing a bunch of people with his reckless driving. But that's just me being like a hardcore, like Batman would absolutely kick the crap out of somebody who just killed like probably 30 people. You live in Texas.
I've had everybody with a reckless driver down there.
Yeah, that's fair.
So it is true.
Yeah.
I know the two places where people drive crazy is Illinois and Texas. That's what I've always heard.
You're not wrong.
Dude,
how is that Colin Farrell? How is that Colin Farrell as Penguin?
Oh, apparently I did not know that.
Yeah, that's Colin Farrell. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like how?
So what did you think of Reddit? What did you think of See, when people kept saying Reddit Riddler, I thought, oh, this was gonna be kind of cringe, but I actually thought it was pretty good.
Oh, no, he was good.
Yeah.
Just I still think it's funny they were using bolt actions.
What is it with
bolt actions and shotgun slugs to assassinate a whole crowd of people?
What is with Hollywood not understanding guns? It's the same thing with in The Last of Us. That one guy, the Doom Prepper, was using like a bolt axe, right? You know.
Oh,
yeah. Like, he doesn't have any like machine guns or like Uzis. That's like.
And it's like the game at least understood that.
Like, why is he doing in the middle of the street with a bolt?
Yeah, gosh, dude. But yeah, other than that, like that, holy cow, that movie was great. Riddler was really cool. I think he'll get some meds in the loony bin and make him a little more sane, which would then turn him into kind of the mischievous planner with a little bit more of a head on his shoulders. I think that's going to happen. I don't want them to do Joker, please.
Well, see, I want to see. I'm looking forward to the second Joker film. It's supposed to be a musical, and I love musicals.
No, yeah, but
I grew up watching old school musicals, and that sounds hilarious.
Nora, no.
Let them cook. I want to see if it's gonna sound good or disaster. Either way,
it's gonna be Cats, but like. Everybody's gonna show up to the theaters as Joker, like you don't, and then they're gonna come out and they're gonna be like, "That was a terrible movie," well, but you know what? He's literally me for real.
I like musicals, and I'm actually surprised. Lady Gaga can act. She's gonna be in the movie, and I was surprised.
Oh yeah, she's a fantastic actress.
So I saw her in a hotel, and I remember when the hotel was announced because I used to keep up with.
She just eats people.
Yeah, so I kept up with American Horror Story as it was coming out, but I never watched it. So I remember when they said Lady Gaga, I'm like, why would they ever use they're just famous singer for reasons. And I actually saw the episode, the show, and I'm like, oh, she's actually a good actress. She actually can act.
She's a really good actress. Again, she just eats people, so I'm not really a huge fan.
But I think she could be a good Harley Quinn.
Yeah, I mean, because they're both like kind of older, so it'll work. Yeah, dude, just like that image of Batman, just like holding that person and putting him on the lift, dude. And then they're like, they reach out to him and they're like, don't leave or whatever, basically, or like thank you at the same time. And it's just like, I'm tearing up. That like that's my boy. That's Batman. He should be like that.
Again, I don't know how much you can tell how ugly modern movies look.
This movie looks amazing.
No, that's the thing. Like they have to have a vision. So we used to you know how we used to film our film.
first of okay, there's a lot of different ways we used to film our films.
No,
but,
I mean like on physical film. You know what I mean? I'm giving
on
you the
actual
simplified version.
film.
Yeah, and we switched to digital. And you know we
a lot of us switched to digital. Some people still prefer film.
No one still uses film.
Yeah. And then, but this movie, I know they didn't use film, but they did like process it through like some lenses.
So what you need to do is first of all, you need to pick a proper lens. So old school lenses could sometimes warp the frames on the side, so they curve a bit.
Oh yeah.
So they don't use those lenses anymore. Those lenses are really good for wider shots, medium shots. So like if you look, there's a great video I saw.
You know, Nora, I think we're running out of time.
Oh yeah, I didn't realize it was this late. We might
Holy cow.
have a part 2.
We can.
Yeah, we do a part 2 maybe on Friday.
Yeah,
or Thursday.
That would work for me.
Yeah, because I'm cooking dinner on Thursday, so I don't have time to do that.
I'm so sorry.
Oh yeah, your time zone is behind me in Texas, or are you in the same time zone as me?
I think we're the same time zone.
Almost 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in the same time zone then.
Yeah. All right. I guess I'll catch you later.
So yeah, want to say goodbye to the folks?